Throughout my time with Deepwoken, I've made countless anime character builds, ranging from the Mochi Man himself, Katakuri, all the way over to somebody like Trafalgar Law. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, I genuinely love pushing Deepwoken's character creation to the absolute limits in order to provide you with high quality content starring all sorts of anime personalities. Speaking of which, Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, was one of the most requested builds in the entire history of my channel, and today, it's time to jump back into Naruto Shippuden's expansive character bingo book. What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today I had the opportunity to recreate one of my favorite villains from Naruto Shippuden, and it was quite the challenge. Let's begin with a spoiler warning. If you haven't finished the Naruto Shippuden story, I'll be referencing this heavily, so keep an eye out. Today's character focus is the one and only Tobi, or should I say Obito Uchiha. Wearing a mask and running from his past, Obito Uchiha remains as one of the sole survivors from the massacre that basically ended his entire bloodline. Much like other characters in the Naruto-verse, Obito has layers, so let me specify the timeline. Originally viewed as an underdeveloped failure, Obito started his training in the Hidden Leaf. This is Kid Obito. After a battle during the Third Great Ninja War, Obito is left for dead and seemingly disappears. Within this time period, he recovers with the help of Madara Uchiha and White Zetsu, so I'll be calling this guy Zetsu Obito. Later on, Obito dons the title of being a masked man and causes absolute chaos, releasing the Nine Tails into the village hidden in leaves. This is Masked Man Obito. After this fight, he's heavily injured and Obito escapes, but eventually returns, secretly leading the Akatsuki as Orange Mask Tobi. His personality is almost the complete opposite compared to his regular edgelord attitude, and this is Tobi. As Orange Mask Tobi, Obito declares war upon the nations and obtains the Rinnegan. He lets go of his old orange mask and dons a white-like helmet mask, and this is War Obito. The final and strongest version of Obito is the Sage of Six Paths Obito, gaining immense power and becoming one of the final bosses to Naruto Shippuden's story, and yeah, this is Obito, Sage of Six Paths. As you can see, there's a ton of transformations for this character, but my primary focus will recreate Obito with pieces inspired by Zetsu Obito, Masked Man Obito, Orange Mask Tobi, and finally War Obito. Equipped with his wood release jutsu, Kamui usage, and the classic Uchiha fireballs, Obito was a blast to recreate. Again, I really want to say this, the best part about characters from such a long-running series like Naruto is that you have so many options that you can work with, so comment down below how you would make Tobi in Deepwoken, and if it's different, that's okay. But before we start, I've got a secret. Ever since the creation of my channel, you guys didn't really know what was behind my eye patch. Well, I'm here to say it. I've obtained the Mangekyo Sharingan after taking out my best friend and, you know, my other piece, the fake Kiki. By doing this, I became stuck in the Kamui dimension, happily working on videos just for you guys. If you want to join me here in the Kamui dimension, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll promptly teleport to you and pull you in. I hope you enjoy, and for the meantime, I'll be chilling right here. Right off the bat, let's talk about our appearance, which I believe to be the most iconic of Obito's outfits. Of course, in the anime, Tobi wears a long sleeve Akatsuki robe to go along with his personalized swirling orange mask and spiky hair. Nobody knows his true identity, but during this time, he has both the Mangekyo Sharingan and the Rinnegan. In-game, I was able to replicate this character using the Ganymede race. With both black hair and a black outfit, this is how Tobi dresses for the majority of the series. The Akatsuki robe was shown off using a red Ministry operative cloak, and the orange duelist mask became our swirling headwear. Another bonus was the Vision Shaper Oath, which is basically purely cosmetic for this character, but it represented Obito's stolen Rinnegan. During this time period, Tobi's main approach to combat was up close and personal. Using his optical dojutsu, Tobi phases in and out of reality while entering the Kamui dimension. In this realm, he's fully intangible and unhittable, absorbing anything within his range. In Deepwoken, we have this option using the Curse of Unbidden with Legion Kata. Approaching targets at close range was our goal, and if we ever felt pressured, boom, we hit that crit and transfer our entire body into the Kamui dimension, making us invincible. In order to gain all of this strength, it wasn't without hardship. Obito Uchiha faced one of the greatest character arcs in all of Naruto as he fell into despair and became a slave to Madara's evil plan. Our stats reflect this character transformation. And let's finally talk about this character. On to Obito Uchiha's range of abilities. A lot of people don't think about this, but Tobi is genuinely one of the scariest characters in all of anime. He's scary, yeah, but not just because he basically one-shots anybody or that he's actually strong, but his entire personality, it's all fabricated, it's fake. As Tobi, with his orange face mask, Obito goofs around around, acting both weak and stupid. He physically nerfs himself, jokes around, and attacks without any seriousness in his actions. Despite this, behind his mask, he's definitely not smiling. In-game players doubt us as soon as they see our enchants, like, who is this dude using Unbidden? Is he serious? This enchant sucks, but we put on a charismatic performance using unnecessary theatrics. During combat, we joke and throw out one-liners, and as the fight continues, we confuse the enemies so much they fall into our web of lies. A perfect example of Tobi's trolling tomfoolery was his team technique using Datara's landmines. He crawls through the earth planting bombs and even pretends to get stuck, which he clearly does on purpose. Just for his act, Tobi constantly nerfs himself, and that's honestly a flex. We exit the earth with Thresher Burrow, diving underground and chin-checking anybody above us. This mantra is always a safe option to mess around with, and that's precisely why we use it. To directly contrast this goofy personality behind the mask, Obito absolutely has the strength to defend himself and basically can one-shot anybody. Awakening his Mangekyo Sharingan, Obito obtained his very own Kamui realm, and with this ability he can transfer himself and others into this dimension, vanishing and approaching with ease. Everything about this technique is calculated, truly showing off Obito's genius level battle IQ. Kamui realm is obtainable in Deepwoken with the dimensional travel belt. In combat, or whenever we like, our Kekai Genkai allows us to surf the interstice with a single action. I also picked up Tacet because he truly is undetectable. Our combat application of Kamui was demonstrated using Ghost and Tap Dancer as we dodge attacks by diving into our pocket dimension and pop out to surprise unsuspecting shinobi. Intangible to the world around him, Tobi phases in and out of combat in order to sneak in attacks against his enemies. All it takes is a single touch using his Kamui and its wraps for that opponent. We too pop in and out of the Kamui realm to dodge attacks and weave out of combos. As soon as there's an opening, we'll be there ready to attack with ceaseless slashes. Intangibility became our ally, using and abusing our Uchiha eyes. The Kamui realm can be extremely defensive, but Obito weaponizes this tool to its full extent. Several times, he absorbs enemy limbs or attacks, or even their entire body to fully remove them from the fight. He pulls people close and uses space absorption to transport them into the Kamui realm. Our slippery playstyle allowed us to safely approach and give our enemies a taste of space absorption. Using Iron Hug, we pull them close into our Kamui, instantaneously spitting them out with a few extra injuries. Back before Obito picked up the swirling Tobi mask, he used to wear something different. During this period, Obito wields a set of chains used to catch people lacking after phasing through their initial attack. It's unclear how long he actually used this chain kata fighting style, but I have a pretty good idea why he stopped doing this. This chain kata acts as an extra support mantra with chain pull. When this works, it really works, and our combos snowball out of control as enemies struggle to escape, but when it doesn't work, let's just say it's a canon event and this, actually happens to him, he gets whooped. Obito was crushed by a boulder, losing half his entire body, and everybody thought that all hope was lost. But luckily, Madara Uchiha with a whole bunch of Hashirama cells, which became known as Zetsu, helped Obito out. Healing and replacing his entire body, Obito inherits Hashirama's wood release after fusing with White Zetsu. Following the death of Rin and during Obito's rage, the rogue ninja lashes out with a devastating wood release stomp, impaling anybody in his path. It's truly a gruesome application of Hashirama's wood release. Instead of creating life, Obito uses wood to steal the lives of others. In-game, Metal Eruption gave us the ability to stomp down and deal an AoE damage stomp, very similar to the wood release jutsu that Obito was using. Another destructive application of Obito's Zetsu body was wood release cutting sprigs. Firing off wooden projectiles, wood needles rip through the enemy and explode, tearing them apart from the inside. This is a bloody embodiment of Obito's rage. These wooden needles came into play using Needle Barrage. We jump into the air and snipe our opponents and pierce them with our wood release. Now the wooden spear explosion caused by wood release was met using Metal Gatling. We apply pressure as our enemy explodes with wood, cutting them apart with our Kekai Genkai. The final attack using Obito's wood style jutsu is when he pierces enemies and runs them through completely. Transforming his Zetsu arm into a wooden lance, he cuts through people and donuts them. In game, we morph our limbs into a wooden lance using the Rocket Lance, pushing enemies off of us and applying pressure as we do so. This was a solid application of the wood release jutsu, and it's very easy just to pull out. The final ability I'll be bringing up today is, for a lack of better words, an Obito Uchiha endgame jutsu. After losing his mask, Obito combines his Uchiha abilities with the fire release to shoot out a fiery spiral of death, the Blast Wave Wild Dance. Its destructive vortex capabilities are one of the many fire jutsus that Obito has access to, but it's one of my favorites. Our final mantra was replicated successfully using Fire Palm with a huge range modifier. We snipe enemies at range and hide within our very own flames in order to sneak up and, deal damage. That's all for Obito or Tobi, but it's time to check out his talent list. Let's move on to some fights with Tobi, the man behind the mask. Thank you guys so much for sticking through and making it all the way to the end. I really love making this character, and I have so many ideas that you might want to take a look at. But seriously, thanks again. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and have a good one. It's punchin' time.